Okay YouTubers, so today I went to Morwell in the good old Magna, which we're seeing at the moment, and we had a little bit of a problem halfway. So if you can see that, it's all up there, that's smoke or burned. That's the speaker grill there, that's burned. You can see the top there. I should really do this in daylight to show you properly. You can see all that was on fire. That's the piece of plastic off here. That was burnt. That's burnt and deformed. There too. If you can see there. If you can see that, that's where it was on fire. All up here. But anyway, what happened was the speaker, which is located in there, caught fire, and we could smell a smell. We'll try and work out what it was. Then all of a sudden something made me look in the rear vision mirror, and at that period there were flames, probably, not too big, just small flames coming out and a bit of smoke. So anyway, I pulled over, and by the time I pulled over and got out of the car, because we were going 110 along the freeway, by the time that I pulled up, got out of the car and come around, flames were tracking all up the glass here. You can see all the blackness on the glass all up there. They were all the way up to here. You can see where it sort of started to get up in there. So anyway, I carry the thing of water there when I'm going on long trips. It's got oil, water, belts and shit in there, so if anything happens. Anyway, managed to put it out. But by that time the whole car, you couldn't see from one end to the other with the amount of smoke, just from that crappy stuff, because I'm not sure what it is. I'm sure Aussie 50 will have a better idea than me, but it's crappy old plastic, and my god, it burns and stinks. So anyway, yeah, so that was the event for today. You can see there's a black tinge into the glass just there. You can see the difference anyway. But yeah, I'll tell you how far she went if I get the keys. Apart from that, that was the only problem, which is probably a pretty big problem, I'll admit that, but for the only problem, I can live with that. So anyway, now we've used, that looks to be not even half a tank, because this gauge is pretty sensitive. By the time it gets to the bottom, it's still got a quarter of a tank in it, but anyway. So yeah, 321 kilometres, so that's a fair old way, and it takes a couple of hours. An hour there, an hour back, or, 2 hours there, 2 hours back, or thereabouts from where I live. Went right down the same way V8 Jagnut went a couple of weeks ago. You could see the same smokestacks he passed going through a particular town, which I don't know. So anyway, I was going to make a video, but after the whole fire incident, that sort of shook me. Wasn't very eager to make a video. But the reason I went down there was to get some struts. Now, they're dirty because they are second hand, but they've only been on the car for probably 2 or 3 months. And the car was hit going through a roundabout and written off. So the bloke saved them out, and they're sitting in his garage for 3 or 4 years. So anyway, he was nice enough to give them to me. And they really make a hell of a difference to the car. It's not so boaty anymore. It sticks on the road a lot better. So we just swapped them while we're down there. I'll show you the old ones. There's the old ones that come out. They're originals. Notice the bump stop's pretty, well, it's non-existent to be honest. And yeah, so they were pretty pooched. I mean, it was leaning down significantly on one side. One side was about 2 inches lower than the other, and the whole car, when I put these new ones in, is now about 3 inches higher overall and level, so that's good. So there, that's the old speaker. That's what it should look like. That's what it looked like after the fire. It was just that papery, waxy, crappy middle bit. Must have caught on fire, or the coils have got red hot, set that on fire, and that'd burn up in a couple of seconds, and then that set the other crap on fire. But there, I've got some stiffer springs for the back to put in the old girl. To stiffen the back up a bit. The shocks he had for the back because they've been sitting around for a while, were no good anymore, so didn't get any back ones, but that's alright. And here's the rest of the whole interior out of another car there. That's the bit that needs to go in, that's all burned. But yeah, basically got the whole another interior to put in it because the colour I've got in a wagon is quite hard to find, so there's a few other bits that are broken. The dash isn't in such good condition, it's got to tear down one end. So the whole interior is here, including all the door cards. The only thing we don't have out of the interior is the seats and the carpet, so we'll stick all this in there in summer and I can take all the carpet out and pressure wash it. But yeah, that'll be another project. G'day YouTubers, well, I've been troubleshooting this amp here. It's actually well powered amp. It's got a huge sub in the bottom. And basically it just had a very angry transformer sound and kept blowing the fuse. So basically what I did was I tracked it to be in this board here, which is the board that has all the basically rectification and MOSFETs and shit on it, and all the transistors. This board hasn't got much. So then with the way it was shorted, it was just a direct short, and you could hear it on this thing just hummed like a bitch. I assumed it had been the rectification. The capacitors checked out to be alright, or seemed to be. So I turned my attention to the bridge rectifier. Now it appears that that was open circuited. One of the diodes was open circuited, so it was just flowing straight one way, not the other, just one way. Which, if I get the multimeter, I can prove. Where is it? That's the diode setting. So I don't know whether this one makes the beeping noise or whether it just I'll try and I don't know. How am I going to do this? Really need 6 hands, but we'll see. Anyway, hang on. I'll see if I can position that where you can see it. What can I sit it on? I don't know. This hard drive, this will do. Really, I'm going to great lengths to prove something that you believe anyway, but still. Alright, so now this is flowing one way. So this is on diode check. This is flowing one way, as you can see. That's got not no resistance, but it's basically, you see that's the other way, that's switching the wires on the input side. So we'll see if it'll beep at us. So that's one way. Might not do it like this. No, I won't do it like that, but still, it was yeah, pretty much shorted. So that bridge rectifier, which is probably the completely wrong specs. Anyway, just for now to test it, I soldered that in there, and because as you can see, that one's you know, completely different configuration of the feet to this one. I just botched it in there, just soldered it off the 2 input legs, and then run sort of tracer wires. Anyway, I'll stick it back together now, and we'll power up. Okay, so this amp here, I made the bridge rectifier a bit more permanent, wired it in there with some cables because it doesn't fit. Now I'm not quite sure if it's the same current rating. This one's a 6 amp. I think that one was about that, or it might have been 8, or I don't know. Oh no, sorry, that one's a 6 amp. I'm not sure what this one was. I think it was, I'm pretty sure that one was bigger by about an amp or 2 anyway. So yeah, it does work. It isn't, the only problem is this front panel here has totally packed up, but really I think it's just that regulator chip there that I see, but it works fine without this, surprisingly enough. It'll auto select the input, like at the moment it's got MP3. Okay, so here we've got clutch master and slave cylinder for my car. Slave, the piston seized in the bore, so I can't get it apart. But the check valve and the banjo bolt assemblies all in there, the copper washer. So if I can get that unseized, although it probably won't be much good, especially seeing it's been seized, but we'll see. But that does have a bit of scoring in the bore, but I pulled it apart, cleaned it all out. The seals are all in excellent condition. So despite the wear in the bore, she might still be better than the one that's in mine. Soon find out, because mine leaks like a bitch. So I'll stick that in one day and we'll see if it's any better, because I'm pretty sure it's been leaking down from the back here down, because it's just a dribble all down the firewall, even though that part is recessed into the firewall. Because that rubber boot comes here, it could easily drip down and through, because it's a fairly big hole that this sits in. Like the hole's got a 1/4 of an inch on the bottom, probably an 1/8 on the top, or maybe a little bit more on the top, maybe 1/4 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch. Although, yeah, it could be about that, because that's the only size hole saw I had, so that's what I got cut at. So yeah, I'll make a video of installing them and pulling it apart when I pull that apart next. But yeah.